Welcome, welcome. Well, hello, welcome to you, little Lala. Little Lala's been all over. How did you know Mama was, you saw me set up. Is that what it is? But what an opportunity to walk in, right? To say hi to everybody. Hi, little Lala. Okay, okay. All right, now I know you have food, so you can't be hungry, okay? You're a good girl, yes. Welcome, my friends. Little Lotta want to come say hi tonight. But I'm doing a video this evening about gem water and crystal healing and all good stuff like that. Vitalizing with crystals. So my little Lala, she's all excited. But little Lala, I gotta have to do this video, okay? Do you mind? You want to just sit in the corner? All right, well, I like to do it how I charge my crystals is I follow this Native American man by the name of Luke Borgalt, Secrets of Crystal Healing. Thank you, little Lala. Thank you for saying hello. Secrets of Crystal Healing. And it's written by Luke Borgalt, Lucbourgault. Luke Borgalt. And I just find this book fascinating, but you all know I follow Native American rituals, and I truly believe that wherever you live in this planet, you should follow the sacred aboriginals or ancestors or Indians that lived in that area and follow their traditions, or at least be aware of how they lived and struggled or challenged, or what they ate and what their rituals were. They're all different. Hawaiians have different, the Orishas have different, the Australian Aboriginals have different, but the main bottom line is nature, Mother Earth, all elementals. They work with herbs, crystals, the ocean, the sky, Luna. So that is what they all have in common, okay? And I would, Luke Borgalt likes always, before he cleanses and charges his crystals, and he likes to always smudge before. So I'm going to do a little smudging for this little ritual that we're expressing on the gem water here. Let's see. Little Lala, I have fire here, so be careful. I'm gonna have to. I'm sort of working with there we go. It's like a little bit there. It's not catching for me like I'd like, but okay. All right, very good. And I already have a little instance of St. Michael, and if it catches better, we'll set it up for that, okay? All right, and I would like to open up with this little Native American ritual too, or prayer rather, where it speaks to Mother Earth, okay? Great Spirit, Mother Creator, bless the earth through my life, source of all nourishment. We seek to replenish your sacred world. Guide us now through these images, words, and feelings within as we reach into the wholeness. Let all that is needed be known. Welcome energies of earth, air, fire, and water. Let us create a life of beauty, reverence, and wonder. With each season, let us rejoice. Through every phase of sun and moon, let us be in harmony. In every direction shall we offer our love. Let the reading begin. And these are these come from my Native American card decks, which I'm working on bringing that out for the Shaman series too. So much going on, my friends, so much going on. Okay, and I'll chat my little Lala. I like my little cauldron. Okay, but I did want to just share a little bit more of what he has to say in the respect of working with the crystals and the power of crystals. And he writes here, the gift of working with crystals is not bestowed on everyone. A spiritual process of purification and clarification is essential, and without this, a crystal can be of more harm than good. The misuse of crystals on a large scale actually damages the delicate ecological balance of the earth, which has already been seriously impaired. And we're familiar with that, right? So, and it's very deep what he writes, but he also writes here, the most important thing to remember is that experience, life, and feeling are fundamental. Whatever you try to do in life, the two hemispheres of the brain should always be involved. That is to say, you must use both knowledge and experience, okay? And then he goes into how important meditation is. The whole introduction, the beginning of the book starts with meditation. And I even highlighted meditation. He says there's, there are two basic principles which anyone who wants to work with crystals must understand: meditation and respect for the crystals, towards the crystal. So he talks about meditation and how important it is to vibrate with your crystals, to speak to them. They're living things, living entity, if you want to say. They're alive, they grow, obviously, and they vibrate with us. But that's what we're going to talk about, why we need to cleanse them and charge them, and then we're going to make the drinking water, the gemstone drinking water. Then I'll show you how to make a little elixir too. Okay, we don't need the fire. We just need a little smoky. Okay, we've got the smoky. Good, good, good. Alrighty, so, and he continues, and then he writes about respect. To respect the crystals, and how it's important that, just don't always work with the same crystal. You got to give that a break too, cleanse it, charge it, and let it sit for a week or two, let it have its own little regroup time. But respect, very important. He says, he says it takes a slow process. He's, said he'd been working for years and years and years, and still every time works with a different crystal, and he'd find so much information. So so what I wrote here back in the day, think of me as a tree growing slowly, because he was writing here how the importance is of, be patient with the crystals. You can't rush them, tell them, hurry up and do this for me, right? We can't do that. So, it's just to be patient. And like I wrote here, think of me as a tree growing slowly. So, but I really like this book. But again, this is dealing with Native American rituals. Okay, so if you're not into that, then find where you're from, and if they do cleansing of crystals, then work with that. Okay, so here I have a bowl of crystals that I don't have a lot of crystals. I really just work with a few, and I've been gifted by some people that I love, and I adore the crystals that they have given me. And but I put them all here, and this water, I boiled this water, okay? When I'm cleaning them, I don't necessarily use distilled or spring water, because, we pay for that, right? But, boiling water, just put it on the stove, right? And, when you're boiling some water, you're going to make some pasta, boil a big pot, and put some water aside, and then you can cleanse your crystals in it. But you want to add to a liter of water, you want to add a teaspoon of salt, sea salt, okay, sea salt. And so then we let them sit in, and the bowl, the container that you put them in has to be natural, has to be either glass, ceramic, a clay bowl you made, or wood. So natural containers, nothing like stainless steel or plastic, okay? Nothing like that. So it has to be a natural source container. Now, I've already rinsed them, put them in their water with the sea salt, and I'm going to let them sit overnight. Now, if it was the full moon this evening, I would put the bowl outside this evening and let them charge in the salt water. But since I'm doing it a day before, I will tomorrow morning, early afternoon, I will take the crystals out and I will set them outside. And I like to set them on a red fabric, cotton fabric. Okay, the color red. And I don't know why, but that's what I've always done. Red. For some reason, it keeps their vibration. I really can't explain it, articulate it, but red is the color. And I put a little red cloth down, cotton, nothing synthetic, okay? And then I place them down and I let Luna charge them up for me. So then we're going to continue. After we have them charge, after the full moon, and again, this full moon is so powerful it's a super moon in lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, and you know, full moons are all about charging, relating to love and abundance. And if this full moon could be anything about love and abundance, it's this one, okay? Because Sagittarius is all about, you know, the adventure and having fun and going into spirituality, finding your truth, okay? And then we've got Venus in the house, and it's just so much positive energy. And then I'm going to drop my full moon video in a few hours from here, and we'll follow up. But I wanted to do this video first, so if you had an opportunity to charge and cleanse and charge your crystals, and then you can turn it into your drinking water. You can toast yourself at the full moon, because I already made my little batch, and I'm going to toast in front of you, but we'll get to that point. But yes, okay, this full moon, if any time you want to work with your crystals for this full moon coming in Sagittarius, the lunar eclipse. Eclipses, you know, shake it all up. Now is the time. Alrighty? So, okay, so I lost my thought though, because I'm getting so excited about this. I mean, really, my friends, I've done I don't know how many new moon and full moon videos, and I'm always excited, right? Every single one. This one's going to take us. This is, now if you're on board, if you're on the spaceship of love, they're going to take us. If you're still, I don't know what a crystal is, or I don't know, I don't want to, or I don't believe in this, okay, have it your way. But for me, I'm looking forward to this full moon. But if you're watching these videos, obviously you have an open mind, don't you? Fabulous. Okay, so we've opened up our ceremony. I lit a little incense. And so now we're going to go to the part where, okay, it's the crystals have been charged in the full moon. I've laid them out on their red fabric. And then what I do, I don't have a pitcher, a pouring pitcher, but I like to use this because this has an open, obviously a big open, and it's all clean. It's still kind of rinsed out. But what I do then, now mind you, I'm just going to pull these as an example, pull them out as an example. But what I do is then, and this is a citrine, I just place them in here gently, okay, gently, because again, these crystals can break easily, you know. So if you're working with smaller crystals, the ones that are tumbled, those are pretty cool for drinking, which we'll explain that in a little bit. But if you're very cautious in how you place and pull them out, it should be okay, all right? So, and look at this beauty here. From my girl, Jill. Okay, and like I said, you know, you can see some of this, they're cleansing right now, but I'm just showing you. After they're cleansed and I've dried them in the moonlight out, then I put them in here, and I won't continue. I'll just put one more to show you. And look at my little Lemurian, isn't this adorable? Thank you, Jilly. Okay, but anyway, you place them here very gently in your pitcher, in your container, whatever size crystals you're working with. Okay, now all these, another thing, so important. Some crystals are toxic, okay? You really can't work with them for drinking purposes, because now this is our drinking pitcher, okay? This is where we cleansed and, you know, put them outside to charge at the full moon, but now this is going to be drinking. We're going to drink from this container, okay, and place the crystals in to drink. So you want to make sure they're all dried and, cleansed and charged and dried. So we place them in this container, and now I still work with boiled water, but a lot of people work with distilled water or spring water. Now, the spring water I like here is a naturally alkaline spring water, and I do like this one. I don't even know where it comes from, but it tastes good and it's alkaline naturally. I really like that. I'm very much into the alkaline diet, my friends. We'll talk some more a little bit about that. My little Lala, can you move for a little bit? Thank you, my princess. And then, or distilled. But for the purpose right now, I'll work with the distilled water. But people, I don't know, the boiled water works really good for me. I never had a problem, and I've made it all different ways, But we're going to put the distilled water in here. Okay, and you cover up how many crystals you have. You cover it up, or, if you want to do the whole deal, you do the whole deal. Okay, but because I really didn't, clean them, I haven't charged them, I'm just showing you what to do here, the process. Okay, so then we put them in the container. Remember, they've been cleansed in the sea salt, they've been charged by the moon, and now we put them in the container. Again, a glass container. It has to be glass when the drinking one has to be glass. The cleaning one can be wood, ceramic, but the drinking one has to be glass, okay? So then we put them in here, and now what we do is, and we always want to have intention. So when we're charging these crystals for this full moon, you write down on a piece of paper your intentions, okay? Because again, this full moon is about abundance and love, okay? And the trump card is the Wheel of Fortune. So my goodness, let's jump on it, okay? So that now we've placed them in here, and again, make sure you look up, do your own research, please, people. This is what I'm showing you, but do your own research. But make sure because some of you people have hundreds of crystals, okay? And I'm warning you of the toxic crystals. You just, and you just don't go outside on a hike and pick up a stone and say, oh, I'm gonna put it and make it as an elixir. Make sure what you're working with, okay? Because we want to vitalize and energize with these crystals, not, get toxic from them, okay? So this is how we're going to work it, all right? So we want to make sure we choose non-toxic crystals, and pretty much quartz crystals, amethyst, rose quartz, the Lemurians, I have my Lemurians right here, okay? Beautiful. And I have some raw ones. I have my raw aquamarine right here. You can put them all together too. But again, it has to be the non-toxic ones, okay? And I've never had an issue. And sometimes I'll just put my Lemurians together and then my rose quartz. I might do it like that too. But for just to show you, I'm doing it like this today, okay? And then once we choose our non-toxic crystals and we place them in our distilled or spring water, or again, boiled water has never, affected me. But, if you are going to go into the tincture, which I'll get to this in a moment, if you are going to tincture your water, then I recommend you use the distilled water, okay? Because when you tincture it, you add vodka and or brandy, depending. And so, distilled then would probably be best, because now you're going to keep this, this will last for a while, and I'll show you what we can do with that too. Okay, so okay, in the glass containers. So now we fill the crystals in the container, which we did, and then we put them out in the sunlight for a little bit. Just no more than 3-4 hours. And you can put them, if you don't have a balcony or you don't have a backyard, you can put them at the windowsill in your kitchen, or your dining area, wherever you have window sunlight coming through, that southern exposure coming through. Well, my coast here, my southern exposure is how I get my sunlight in the morning, and obviously the west for the sunsets. So you set this out for between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Those are the good times for the sunlight to gain the crystals to get charged by the sunlight then for a couple hours. And then what is another fascinating thing, and I have this deck Okay, so we're now got the crystals cleansed, charged by the full moon, and we're now putting them out between 10 to 2 p.m., 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in a windowsill in your back patio or porch via the sunlight, okay? And then, of course, you know, you want to top it. So if you do put it outdoors, you don't want, you know, how we happen here. The pelicans know how to zoom in on stuff like this. My goodness. And those seagulls, too. Okay, but I'm also wanted to bring out this Masaru Emoto, Dr. Emoto's water crystal oracle. It's very fascinating how, and if you're not familiar, he was doing research on water. He was studying dirty water, spring water. He was doing research on water, and he started taking photographs of water droplets, and he found that the cleaner the water, the more crystal clear they were. And you know, as snowflakes, everyone is different, so each drop of water or what he was working with had a different image, and you can see all these beautiful images. But what he found was that the dirty water was just like blobs of gray, and he also would play music to the water, and when he would play soothing, calming music, the crystals would appear beautiful. But when he plays something like, you know, I hate her, you know, that Metallica, rough, kill kind of music, you know, anything with negative vibration, the crystals would again just turn into this mush. And you can look it up, Dr. Masaru Emoto, Masaruemoto. Very fascinating, very fascinating. I have his deck, and I'm going to pull 3 cards here in a moment. But the thing about the music is that also when you have him sitting out at the sunlight, between that 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. time, that 3-4 hour window, you know, whatever it would be for you, 3 or 4 hour window, play a little music by them, you know, something soothing, you know, no AC/DC, you know, yeah, anything like that, which I love. But, you know, for them, they want, you know, we're trying to keep them as you would, you know, like when you're getting in the spa moment and you're getting your massages and your hair, you know, you want to feel that calming scenario. And so it's the same thing. We're going to treat them like they're our little, you know, little butterflies, you know, our little, you know, they live, they're alive, okay? So we got to treat them with respect. And when we're doing all this, we meditate. I'm chatting right now, but I'm always thinking, and I'm always having the intention of positivity when I'm working, when I'm pulling them out. I you know, even if you have a name for him, or my amethyst I adore, I speak to it. My amethyst I adore, blah, 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 blah. My citrine that I love, oh, my lemuria. You know, you speak to them, okay? But with loving vibes. And then I'm going to pick these 3 cards. So let's say we're picking the 3 cards and we'll let the time pass. And then we'll come to this part. But let's pick up some cards since we've been talking about Dr. Emoto. And I'm already at, oh my Lord, 23 minutes, people. I thought this would be a 10-minute video. Okay, but let's pick the 3 cards because this is really nice. Alrighty? And again, this full moon, my friends, it's fat. It's I think, besides the Venus transit last June, this is going to be one you'll never forget, I believe. This, because so many people, you know, the ones who don't want to get on board, be left in the back, and the ones who want to get in the front seat are going to be seeing the nicer view, no doubt about it. Okay, first card. Adrenal Halo. Release. Wow, we got a healing card right off the bat. Okay, let me stand up here now. This is one of his healing cards, because he also works with the natural elements, earth, air, fire, water, but then he speaks of healing too. And this says release. And you know about these full moons, this is what mainly our intentions are, to release what no longer serves. And this full moon especially, let go of the past. Turn off that technology. Stop listening to all this horrible stuff on the media. It exists, but we don't have to get caught up in it, okay? Calm yourselves, soothe yourselves, get outdoors, get into nature, have fun, play, and smile. And yes, serious things have been happening, But we need to put the intents out there, powerful prayer to say, enough is enough. We are going to take over in the respect of healing ourselves. And we're not going to have these governments and media put fear into us, okay? Enough is enough. I don't even want to go in that. I'm not political at all. I don't even watch the television, to be honest with you. So I'm a music aficionado. I like to listen to music. And, you know, I watch TV, you know, just because I catch up on things. But if not, no. Okay, so the cards of healing here. And it reads, through my work, I realized the relationship between emotions and organs. When the vibration of a certain part of the body is disturbed, it negatively affects the whole body. The body's intrinsic vibration has to be restored by giving a new external vibration that cancels the disturbance. I have worked with musician Alan Rubik to create music that can help balance the body. The resulting music is on a CD called Keys to My Heart. I might have to look that up, and then, and I'll play the music for the crystals. The crystal photographs are taken after playing each of these melodies to distilled water. Each crystal was gauged with a Hado, H-A-D-O. I'm sorry, I should pick this up. Okay, Hado measuring device, which measures vibration and energy. I have noted the name of the piece of music after the emotions for each of the 10 organs listed below. 2 additional health crystals are added at the end for your pleasure. Please visualize the positive emotion of each melody while listening to them. If you are working with the healing cards, remember that to love yourself is to love and thank all of existence. We cannot, nor is it necessary, to rid ourselves of our emotions. No one is ever completely free from negative thoughts. However, our physical and mental health is undermined by frequent negative thoughts and feelings. The principle of vibration shows us that when 2 opposite waves combine, they cancel each other out. When we emit the positive emotion, the negative emotion will disappear. And my friends, again, please follow my aura cleansing. That's what it's all about. You know, working with the 5 elements of earth. Just watch that video how they, you know, each one destroys the other, okay? Cancels each other out. And that's what we're trying to do, heal ourselves with basic water, crystals, you know, sage rituals. It's pretty simple, really. Okay. The principle of vibration shows us that when 2 opposite waves combine, they cancel each other out. When we emit the positive emotion, the negative emotion will disappear. And then here are their hearts. And the first card here, Adrenal Halo, release, suppression. And the affirmation is, you inspire me, or the song that is written for this is You Inspire Me. So we'll have to look that up, my friends. I will have to do that. Okay, let's pick another card now. All righty. Let's see. 28 minutes, okay. Well, I don't like to read fast, but I don't like to read too long. Love and thanks. Beautiful. And look, back in the day, I wrote, me always want to say love and thanks. And this is a power card. So let's read about the power cards. Cards of power. Okay. Love and thanks, people. I believe in that. You know, you say thank you every day. And to those you love, genuinely, you say I love you. And that's what you do. And that's healing in itself. Okay? And if you ever hear young children saying, I hate this, right? That, you know, step in on that one. Put them in check real fast. Okay, cards of power. It is important that we treat water with respect and that we work with all energy in a respectful way. If you choose one of the following words of power to amplify or to honor something in your life, be sure to do so in an attitude of humility and gratitude. The attitude of gratitude, my friend. The vibrational aspects of a word impart physical effects. Choose a card that has meaning for you. It may be something you want to increase in your life or something you want to honor or to better understand. Okay, let's see. Okay, and this is the word. Love and thanks. And here's number 3. Number 3 and 9 are my numbers. And I didn't even know that. But the power card, love and thanks, every day, my friends. And when you're working with your crystals, say, I love you, thank you. You talk to them, okay? All right, what time is it? 30 minutes. We'll roll one last card, and then the tincture is pretty simple. I won't. Okay, let's see what this one is. Autumn. Okay, so this is an earth card. So something is about autumn. Let's see about this one. Cards of earth. The earth is our home. Every day of our lives, our liver filters over 100 gallons of water and sends this purified water to other organs in our body. My goodness, I'm going to read that again, my friends. Every day of our lives, our liver filters over 100 gallons of water and sends this purified water to the other organs in our body. Based on this fact, I imagine the earth as playing a vital role in purifying the water for our planet and then sending it out into the universe. I believe that it is our responsibility to protect and purify the water of the earth. Absolutely. I also believe that our consciousness will purify the water, and through this we can send messages of beauty and strength to all life. How can we do this? The answer is love and gratitude. If all the people of the world can feel love and gratitude, the pristine beauty of our earth may once again return. Here are the cards in the nature group and sample meditations to honor the following aspects of nature. Select a card and feel the emotion of love and gratitude. And we picked autumn. And autumn is it says spring, summer, fall, winter. Well, I'm assuming fall is autumn. Cards of the earth, yes, okay. As the foliage changes color and the cool days return, water comes in the form of rain mixing with the fallen leaves, creating a mulch that blankets the land. Give thanks for all that has been provided to you this past year and for the water that has sustained you. Beautiful. Beautiful. I believe in saying thank you and I love you. Okay, and then once you have the your crystal water and it's ready, and you can drink this crystal water. I read somewhere that the crystals will charge the water already in like 10 minutes. But again, once they've been cleansed and charged, and I put them in the clean container with the distilled or spring water, I let them set overnight, okay? And then I start the drinking process. And if there's any left over, then I recycle any bottle I bought. I bought some lavender and rose water, so I've recycled this bottle, but I'll put a little bit in here. And if I just want to use it as an air spray, like when I do my sage, and after I sage, then I go around with my crystal water, my crystal drinking water, my gemstone water, and I just spray in the corners too with it. But if you wanted to use a tincture, you can add 20% of 100 proof vodka, okay, to the tincture. And then just keep it in a dry, cool space. But in this water, also, you want to drink room temperature, okay? You don't want to put it in the refrigerator, all righty? And then when you do finally are able to pour yourself a glass of your beautiful gemstone water that you made with yourself and you gave love and thanks and gratitude for their healing effects, then you can keep your glass. I just have my fancy dolphin glass right now, but you have a regular glass, again, a glass, no plastic, and you can put it on either a clay surface, something natural. I have a crystal, slate here, but this will keep the charge going too, okay? And all you do is take a sip. Thank you. I love you. Okay, my friends. I think another long video here. Oh, longest one I made today. I hope you enjoyed it, though. And full moon, please. I'm telling you, even if you don't get to charge your crystals and drink your own gemstone water, please put those intentions out. Write them on that piece of paper, okay? And the next one we're going to do is how to put people in the freezer, too. We're going to talk about that. Put your intentions in the freezer and, you know, keep it all pure and potent. Okay, friends, have a lovely evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Ciao.